Hey everybody, David from Flash by Vcyclenut. Next system up for testing on my 2025 MT07. I'm gonna have to be really careful because now I'm gonna have a couple two-cylinder bikes I'm working on. Just picked up the Honda Hornet last night. I'll be getting my break-in miles, oil change, and get that all done. But this is for the 25 MT07. And I just put the stock airbox back on yesterday. That was fun. And going to test a few more exhausts with the stock airbox, starting with the Ixil, because I had a special request from a customer. So ordered it, came in less than a week. And just taking a look at the system. It's a bit on the heavy side, 12 pounds. It's a few pounds heavier than some of the other systems I've tested. And the reason is this canister is obviously made of steel and quite heavy. Couple things about it. There are two O2 sensor bungs. This is in a kind of a bizarre location, but that's the one I'll use because the other one is actually on one of the down tubes. Came with instructions, nice. There's honeycomb material there and honeycomb material in there, and these two very restrictive looking DB killers that fortunately are removable. I'm not thinking this is going to make great power, but it does look nice, at least from the pictures, and I'm sure we'll add some sound. So I will try it. Those honeycombs don't look like they would come out easily. I'm not going to bang them out, but I will start with the tuning without the DB killers in, and then see what kind of horsepower losses we have with it. I will get it mounted up to get some pictures, the sound clips of both of it on the road on the dyno when I do my street and dyno mapping, and we'll get some results for what it looks like at full throttle and such. So stay tuned. The Ixil exhaust is on, went on without any difficulties. I did remove the DB killers. Like I said, they have this silly little, can you see it? Little dot in the center, like tamper proof. I just put a pair of channel locks on them, and they were pretty loose and came right off. Exhaust sounds pretty quiet as it sits. I'll get some sound levels in a second and post them up. But sounds good without being too obnoxious. I use some grease on that joint there, and of course grease to hold the exhaust gaskets in at the head. So first couple starts, that'll burn off. Once it gets good up in temperature, that'll be gone. So I'll get my dyno mapping done, get the street mapping done, and post some results. So per the normal, let's start looking at the dyno runs. We'll start with what my MT07 made stock on my dyno. This is that run. And these two runs compare what my 25 MT07 made stock versus with the only change being my custom mapping for the stock pipe. See, we got gains everywhere, and as per all my flashes, the throttle response is just smoother and better. My power mode 1 is immediate and really a lot of fun. It's what I've been in all the time. Bike is smoother, just a better bike all around. But let's see what happens when we bolt the Ixil exhaust up and apply my custom mapping for it. And yeah, as I said, I knew that honeycomb was going to be a problem. So the blue line is what my stock bike made with my flash and custom mapping. The red line is what the bike is now making with the Ixil full exhaust and my custom flash or custom mapping for it. I am positive that these results are true. The mapping actually on this Ixil exhaust took me a little longer than normal, and so the bike had a lot of runs on it after my dyno day. So I was like, okay, maybe my runs are depressed because the bike has just heat sinked and the temp sensor is too hot and it's pulling timing, and it happens sometimes. But so I waited the full next day, let it cool all the way down, brought it up to temperature like I always do, and yeah, this is what I got. So it's down a couple horsepower on the stock pipe. So, but I would say it looks good. It sounds good. It's a couple pounds lighter. If you bought it for any of those reasons, okay. If you bought it for power increases, sorry, not going to happen. And like, again, I'm thinking it's that honeycomb in there. So, bike still does run really well with it. It feels good, sounds good without being loud, as you saw in the decibel. This is decibel readings. This is one of the quieter full systems that I've ever tested, which is good. On the road without the dB killers, I would just leave the dB killers out. They really is still really reasonably and loud and sounds really good. So let's compare where my bike started to where we are now. So comparing where the bike was stock with the red line to where it is now with the blue line Ixil full exhaust and my custom mapping, it is an improvement from stock. Nothing really to write home about, but like I said, if you know what you're buying, you could be happy with the purchase. I do think it looks good and it definitely sounds good. Let's look at a difference with dB killer in versus dB killer out. So kind of good news, it really didn't cost you that much power, not as much as I thought, just about a horsepower just across the very top. It really didn't make much difference in sound either, only a couple decibels both at idle and on the run, which was a bit surprising. I thought it was going to be more restrictive and make more of a difference in sound, but I think that honeycomb that's in there is already reducing the power so much in the flow and the sound so much that adding this other extra dB killer really didn't do much. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, head on over to Vcyclenut.com for your very best in ECU flashing needs. Get your MT07s all running the way they should. Thanks a lot. Appreciate you all. Dirty side down.